early morning on the road today. Hey, hey. The sun is blazing on A1A.
Hi, Angel here.
And Vampyresskiss, and we're here for another installment of the adventures of Angel and Vampyresskiss. Today, I'm not going to tell you exactly how to make them. This is just the process I'm going through to collect what's needed for them. And what I've been doing is making, I don't know how to do that fancy lettering on the bottom of the screen. I gotta get Casey to teach me. But anyway, I'm making Orgones and Orgonites. This is actually the same thing. This is just two different ways that you can search it on the internet. And I have one here that my friend Ash gave me, and he actually made this himself. His is in the shape of a pyramid, and you can see, because he was on the road and stuff, his little crystals sticking out the top of it. But basically, this is what I'm gonna do. It's in epoxy, and it's metals and crystals and things like that inside the epoxy. And what Orgonite is used for, it neutralizes EMF radiation, it clears negative energy, it aids in meditation, supports restful sleep, enhances lucid dreaming, relieves stress, purifies the atmosphere, detoxifies water, and improves plant growth. And a lot of people are using them to, like, with the chemtrails that are out there, and like all the harmful energy that comes off of all our different electronics nowadays. I mean, even what Angel's holding in his hand is a dangerous item. You know, if you wear it all the time, it can cause cancer in some people. So basically, that's what this is for. Well, except I'm going to make mine in, oops, this is a jumbo muffin tin. So this is what I'm making mine in. So mine are going to be shaped like muffins. I'm not going to do the pyramid shape. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about that part of it. I just wanted to say that part. This is the part where, being a pagan and being a witch, I very much am hands-on. I like to have my hands into every process that there is in making any kind of item, because I like to set my energy in it, set the intent in it. And so this is why I did not get any of my metals from anybody on the internet. I have been searching. We've been at this like 2-3 months. I don't know if you remember the video where Angel and I were going on a piece of property and getting metal, but that's when this started. And I wanted to get aluminum, copper, and brass. And the copper was not easy. What I ended up doing was, like, here's a piece of copper. This actually came off of a refrigerator. Or here, because we use swamp coolers, some people use copper on swamp coolers. But copper is very, very hard to find, because it is worth money if you go to sell it. Well, I was lucky enough to get a neighbor to give me that piece of copper. So I've been cutting the copper, and this is what I've been getting, is little, can you see that, Angel?
Yeah.
Little triangles. They kind of are like 3-dimensional triangles. I'm not cleaning it. I'm leaving it in its natural state. Like, this is wire from I think it was up against some of the copper tubing on one freezer I found. And that's the copper. So what I'm doing, I'm not as strong as I should be. You can see right there where I was cutting it. And my wire cutters are getting kind of dull. But what I'm going to stand up for this. What I'm doing is I'm taking it like this. And copper's kind of
Hard.
No, it's not hard. It's actually really, it's one of the softer metals. But because my wire cutters are
dull.
Yeah, they're getting dull and I don't know how to sharpen them. And then, you know, if anybody does know how to sharpen these, you know, comment below and tell me, because I hate to have to buy new ones because I haven't had these that long. And so anyway, that's what I've been doing with the copper. So that's the copper. The brass was a little, oh, well actually, I'm going to sit back down. A lot harder to, I just put some copper into my brass. Okay, yeah. Okay, anyway, the brass has been a lot harder. There's some copper in here. I'm going to have to go through this. Okay, this is what this is. These are bullets. I looked and searched all over the internet trying to see if people were using brass bullets. I couldn't find it, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to use them until somebody tells me, oh God, you shouldn't do that. Now, where these bullets came from was from my own family when we've been target practicing. And, I mean, we've had a good time, having fun, not shooting any animals, not doing anything, you know, other than shooting at a target. So I know all these were used during a joyous time and during, you know, while we were having fun. So I know there's no negative energy on any of these, except for possibly just the fact of firing them. Anyway, if you're going to use bullets, be sure to wash them because of the gases and powders and stuff that are on the casings is poisonous to people, and so you need to wash them. But, oops, dropped it. A 22 is actually the easiest to do. Can you, like, not do that? It looks like you're not doing it right. And what I've been doing is I go right in the middle of this. We'll try that again. Get a hold of it, and then you squeeze it down like that. You can hear I cut it. And
then you would cut it in the same place where
Yeah.
you cut it before.
Yeah, like that. See, there's still some powder in these. And then you get 2 little tubes. Well, if you want it smaller, you can cut it down even smaller. Like that. Or, this is another thing I have done. It's not easy. This is not easy to do because once I start cutting metals, my shoulder gets sore. But I've taken the same 22, kind of lined it up, and then I haven't let it click. Yeah, this one didn't turn out as well, but if you look at the very end of it, if you can get it even in there, you can actually get an infinite symbol, like infinity, the 8. It's and then you cut that off and throw that in there. And then the other thing we've been using is, these are 38 shells. And I bought a vise. And Casey figured out how to stick these in the vise. And we flattened them completely. And then here's the igniter. God, I can't remember the name of this thing. I have to use these. Anyway, and you just...
Pull them off.
Yeah, you just pull them off and then you've got this end. And you know, I've decided I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use everything. So I'm going to use those ends too. But these are a little bit harder to do. And you actually have to take 2 of these. And you actually have to...
twist it.
Not twist it, no. You kind of score it a little bit. Because everything I have is so... And it takes a while. You gotta work at it. That's all I can tell you. Let's see if this will work. That's why this has taken me so long to do this. Oh, come on. Don't be so... Oh, I can see it's kind of breaking there. I think I got it.
Or you could twist it up and down.
Yeah, there we go. Got it. So, there it is. And it's just one little flat piece. And then this one here, I will probably try to cut again because it's still kind of big. I don't know if Casey, you know, Casey sometimes helps me, and he can do this a lot better than I can. Because I am just not, if I don't have a brand new, there it goes, a brand new pair of, so you can see that I got one little piece off of there, like that. Actually, look at that. I was able to actually cut that in half. So, and it looks to me like we might even
Have another one.
have another one.
Yeah, I could see it.
So, there we go. And so that's how I've been getting my brass, because I didn't know where else to get brass, so I thought I'm going to get it off of bullets. The aluminum was a little bit easier. You know how on the cans, how you have that, I think they used to call them keys. They might still call them keys. I've got a whole thing of them right here. And what I've been doing is I've been just taking them like this, and I just cut it there, cut it there, cut it there, and sometimes I leave it like that, or if I'm feeling really like I want to, I'll cut it down even smaller, like this. And as you see, this is what I have the most of because it's the easiest to get a hold of, the aluminum. The other thing I did too was, I don't know if you can tell, this was like a pie tin. If you fold them, you know, you fold them about 6 times and then you smash them down really well, you get pieces like this, where it's, and you can take it and that's aluminum also. So I can't see where that is a bad thing. So I have, this is what I've been up to. And the other thing is, the other metals, like this here was like a spring, let me take it out of plastic. A spring off of, I don't know, something, but I got Casey to cut this for me. And these are just little spiral pieces. I think they're going to have to be cut down even more, but Casey had a heck of a time getting them to this size. Either that or I might have to smash them down a little bit to make them so that they're flatter. But this was probably about a 4-foot piece of spring when it started. And this, I'm not sure what this is. This could actually be like a piece of, it's not galvanized, it's a metal of some sort, but I think it might have been used in some sort of fencing because of the way that is on the end there. But when I'm feeling really, see, I have to, again, twist it, and then there's the piece right there.
That's a very small piece.
Yeah, got to be careful. These things pop out real easy. And then the other thing, obviously, I don't know where to mine crystals, so I've bought the crystals I'm going to use in mine. And the other thing I've had to buy is the copper wire that I'm going to put around the crystals. Because I tried the antenna wire that comes out of, well, that long black coaxial cable. I've tried that wire, and it's got some sort of a sticky substance on it. And I've tried to take it off of there, and I can't get it off. But this is basically what I'm doing. All of these things will go inside of this. Of course, mine won't be this small. Mine will be the size of the muffin tin. And it will then be a finished product when I put the epoxy in it. So I'm to the point where I could probably make one now. It's just getting Casey to come over and help me with it. Because when I decided to do this, my angel who talks to me, his name, I'm not going to say his name, he had told me that this is what we want on the bottom of it, is a spiral like this. And I would like to take this spiral and go even further with it and tap it down so it's more flat and not as round. So I need to find a nice, smooth, flat hammer to do that with. But that'll be in the very bottom of my first one. This will be the one I will keep. And then I'm going to build it from there. But he was very adamant that this needed to be in the bottom of it. I didn't ask any questions. I just do what my angels tell me to do. So basically, this is that part of the project, and it's like I said, it's taken me a long time to do it because it's taken me a long time to find all the parts. But with each of these parts, I know what the intent is. I know what the thought is when they were being made, being cut, made, and I know there's going to be people out there that are going to say you can purify it in the sun, you can purify it in in the moonlight, but I just am very hands-on, and I like to know where things come from, and so that's why I've chosen to do it in this way. And yes, it takes longer. Yes, it's much more labor-intensive, but I'm not going to change now. This is the way I've always done all my projects I make. So once again, I guess I'll give you this so you can look this up for yourself and see what they are. And if you choose to, you can make your own. It's always best to do your own because then you know what energy has gone into it, what thought, what intent. You don't know when you buy something off the shelf what somebody was thinking when they were producing the product. I'm very mindful of that at all times. So this is Vampyresskiss.
And Angel.
One soul, always.
One soul.
Always.
Always.
Bye.
Bye.
So if you go out into the woods today, hey,